Wow. Just wow. Okay, I'm gonna get the good things that I liked about this movie out of the way first because there aren't very many. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them knocked out. Um, John Hannah playing Jonathan in the movie. Excellent. Just brilliant. His character is the exact same as they were in the other two. And it was just every time he was on screen, it was almost a relief. I mean, almost a breath of fresh air, you know? He was funny, sarcastic, and just brilliant. Really liked it. And he was pretty much the best part of the movie. If that tells you anything as to what this review is going to be like. Let's talk about some of the newcomers. Michelle Yeoh, brilliant in almost anything that she's in. She did a great job with her character. Really liked it. As was Isabella Leong. Um, while it was a love interest character, I thought that she just did a really good job with it. She played it very well. So, yeah. I'm going to try to do all of this calmly so that I don't just start going into a tirade and a rant and just start screaming obscenities at the camera. So, here we go. First off, oh God, where do I even start? Okay, first off, Rob Cohen. Again, like I said before, good director. Really was. But I don't know what he was trying to do with this. I understand that this movie is supposed to be set in 1946. So there's that whole feel of that era. And they were trying to go with that, which didn't really work. The only thing that worked in that sense was that they gave the brother Jonathan, they have him own a nightclub. And that worked because it fit in his character. All the other stuff that they were trying to do with that didn't work. Not at all. None of it did. This is a movie about treasure hunters, archaeologists fighting undead mummies. There's no need to push the 1940s nostalgia down our throats with it. Okay? It just didn't work. Characters, oh my god, what the hell? I don't know what happened to the O'Connells in the 7 years that it took for this movie to come out after the second one. But something drastic happened. The kid, Alex. Now, I knew that this movie was going to be focusing mainly on him as a grown-up, and I really was okay with that. I expected that to come after the second one. But what did they do to his character? They turned him into a little punk. In the second movie, he was this cute little kid who was smarter than everybody else. And so in this movie, they make his character drop out of school. He wouldn't do that. No, it would not happen. Turn him into this resentful little kid who hated his parents for some ungodly reason. Brendan Fraser character. In the beginning of the movie, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe one of the mummies from the other, maybe Imhotep from the second movie accidentally cut off his balls. I don't know, but he turned into this pussy. And Maria Bello is not a substitution for Rachel Weisz. I don't know how many times I can say that, and it probably still won't get the point across, but it's true. She is not a substitution for Rachel Weisz. I did not like her. I did not like her character. I did not like the way that she was portrayed. They turned her into an author. An author. No. It did not work. They should have stuck with what they were. They wanted to try to pull this whole retirement thing. No. No. Not going to happen. Oh. And you know, I really thought that the saving grace of this movie was going to be Jet Li. Because I love Jet Li. He is just almost any movie that you put Jet Li in is going to be better. Just for the simple fact that he's attached to it. I mean, this was the guy, I don't know. I really thought that he was going to save this movie for me. But he did not do a good job at all. Not even him. I was severely disappointed. Even the action sequences where it would be his time to shine were just awkward and clumsy. The sword fight that he had with Michelle Yeoh was pretty good. I think that it would have been a lot better if they had made it last a little bit longer. But they didn't. It only lasted about a minute. It was short and it was good for what it was, but that could have been a really great action sequence. The special effects were really not good. I mean, in the beginning, they made Jet Li's character throw up chocolate sauce. That is really what it looked like. It looked like he was puking chocolate sauce. It looked horrible. And then in the end, when he finally gets vanquished, it looked like he was throwing up lava that time. What is it? Why was he throwing up all the time? Why? Oh. Even the scene when they are in China and they're racing through the streets and it's the Chinese New Year, so of course somehow they end up stealing a truck full of fireworks. And I thought that maybe there'd be some cool explosions and maybe it looked pretty good. And they set the fireworks off, of course, because Jet Li's character has control over fire, which we're going to get to that. So of course he makes an entire box of fireworks explode. It looked awful. It looked horrible. It looked like they did CGI fireworks, which I don't understand. But it just did not look good. Now let's get into some a little bit more nitpicky stuff. Let's tear this storyline apart. And let's start at the beginning. First off, they based it in China, which is okay. It really is. But let's remember that they're in China. So somehow Jet Li's character wants to basically take over the world. Again, that's okay. That's pretty much the basic storyline of the first two Mummy movies also. Except, to do this, he feels like he needs to become immortal, so he finds a Chinese witch that happens to know of a book that can grant one immortality, except it's apparently an Egyptian book because it's written in Sanskrit, and she happens to know how to read Sanskrit. And let's remember, this is based like 2,000 years ago. I'm sure that at that time, the Chinese people made many ventures into Egypt to learn the ancient language of Sanskrit. I'm sure that that was just an everyday occurrence. So instead of granting him immortality, she chooses to curse him and his army because she's in love? What? Yeah. Yeah. Because she was in love with the Emperor's general, and the Emperor had the general killed. Yeah. So again, they're throwing in this weird love story thing, which, again, is okay. I just didn't feel that it worked this time. So we get to modern day for the movie, 1946, where the O'Connells have retired. Oh, and apparently for a while they worked for the CIA. Yeah, they worked for the CIA, where Rick O'Connell, Brendan Fraser's character, is retiring and trying to find something to do with his time that doesn't involve guns and killing people and stopping mummies from taking over the world, which I don't know why. That seems like an admirable goal to me. And the wife character, and I'm going to call her that from now on because she's not Evie O'Connell. Not at all. So I refuse to call her by that name. So his wife has become an author. After in the first two movies she was a librarian who was fascinated by archaeology and history. So she has become an author, and the two books that she wrote are called The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. First curse word. Sorry, they're probably going to start coming a lot more frequently now. Just giving you a fair warning. So yeah, she's an author, and they're trying to enjoy their retirement, but it's obvious that they're both bored. Why are they doing this? Why did he do this? Why did he throw in this whole retirement wrench? This whole thing of they're going to retire if they're just obviously not going to? So anyway, they get recruited for one more mission from the CIA to take back this ancient Fabergé egg diamond thing called the Eye of Shangri-La back to Shanghai because they want to make good relations with the Chinese people or some bullshit like that. I don't know, really. So anyway, they do, and they happen to run into his son, Alex, who has just unearthed the tomb of the Chinese emperor. And so apparently this Fabergé egg diamond thing the O'Connells just happen to have in their pocket when they're wandering around in the museum with their son to look at his new discovery. I guess contains waters from Shangri-La that'll make the person immortal or something, or bring them back to life. It's all this, it was kind of convoluted. The important thing is they've thrown in Shangri-La, the mythical place of immortality and beauty and happiness. And I realize that we have to take these movies with a grain of salt because they're about undead mummies, but isn't that enough fantasy for us? Do we have to throw in Shangri-La too? So anyway, of course the mummy comes back to life and they race through China setting off fake fireworks and everybody gets hurt and they run off and they realize that they can make it to Shangri-La, to the real Shangri-La, because this diamond will point the way to it, that they can probably stop him. And guess what? They don't. Even after trekking all the way up into the Himalaya mountains to find the gateway to Shangri-La, they still can't stop him. So he finds the way to Shangri-La. So they think, okay, let's go to the actual Shangri-La, and we'll stop them there. They get there. And guess who's guarding Shangri-La? The Chinese witch who could read ancient Sanskrit. Of course. Of course, she somehow was able to find the damn place. And you know why she was? Here we go. This is where it's going to get bad. Because this was the moment in the movie. How do I want to explain this? Okay, I want everybody to think back. Because I'm sure that most of the few people that watch these videos have seen this movie. I want everybody to think back to the first time that you saw Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I want everybody to think back to that one moment in the movie where you realized that something was seriously wrong. I think most of you probably know what moment I'm talking about. They even did a bit about it in South Park. They did an entire episode about it. The moment where you realized that that movie was about aliens. Now, I'm not trying to bust on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I actually liked that movie. I accepted it for what it was. Because it's Indiana Jones. I can't not like it. This movie had one of those moments too, and that moment is during the battle at the Temple of Shangri-La, where they are trying to find the way, where one of the characters decides to call for help, and the help that comes to help them fight off the Emperor's army are Yetis. Yes, you heard me correctly. Abominable snowmen are in this movie. A movie about mummies and humans. If you want to make a movie involving abominable snowmen, then make a fucking movie about the Yeti. Don't make a movie about mummies. Sorry, tongue tie there. Don't make a movie about mummies and involve Yetis in it. Makes no damn sense. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, apparently the Chinese witch from the beginning of the movie was saved by Yetis who took her to Shangri-La, so now she's basically immortal and has been guarding the place for 2,000 years just in case this emperor comes back as a mummy. And guess what? He does. Of course he does. And he gets in and he kicks everybody's ass and he just walks right into the pool and becomes immortal. Are these people even trying to stop this damn guy? Now I realize that in this movie they made this mummy a Chinese emperor who has control over the 5 elements. Now that's a little unfair, don't you think? I mean, come on. The guy's already come back to life. Does he have to have control over fire, air, earth, water, and metal? Yeah, he has control over metal. And I'm telling you that because it's going to be important. So just keep listening. But really, these guys are just trying to stop this guy, and it's doing no good. I don't understand why they keep on trying. I think I would have given up at this point. I mean, they tried to stay a step ahead of him and stop him at every single place that he's gone to. And they're failing miserably, I might add. Everybody's getting hurt. They have to be saved by mythical, abominable snowmen. That would be the point. I think I would throw my hat in the ring and be like, fuck it, I'm big fight, blah, blah, blah. People die. And they finally get to the mummy. And it's Rick O'Connell and his son. How it should be. This is how the ending should be. This was the point in the movie. I'm like, okay, Let's do this. You know, good, big, drawn out battle. I like it. No. It lasted maybe all of 5 minutes, if that. And the Mummy basically kicked Brendan Fraser's ass all over the place. But they end up killing him with the help of a magic dagger that has been cursed by this ancient Chinese witch who's been alive for 2,000 years. But the knife was broken and it has to be stabbed directly into his heart. So both Brendan Fraser and his son take a piece and stab him with it in his heart, one in the front and one in the back, and they meet inside him and pierce his heart. And that's the only way that he could die. But here's the big thing. This guy had control over metal. Absolute elemental control over metal. How could he get stabbed in the heart by a knife made out of metal? What the fuck movie did I just watch? What the hell is wrong with this movie? I was really hoping that there would be something redeeming in it. I tried to go into this with an open mind. I really, really, really did. And I think that I succeeded. But after about 15 minutes into the movie, I realized that I wasn't going to have any success over that. And this was just going to suck. And yeah, it did. Like I said, there are a couple of decent things in it, but none of that makes up for the absolute abominable pile of shit that this is. And yes, pun intended on that. Just, oh, I'm almost angry at how bad this movie is. I really am. It's no wonder that this movie did not have Rachel Weisz or Oded Fehr in it, because obviously they're smart enough to recognize this pile of crap for what it was and didn't want anything to do with it. Oded Fehr probably realized that he is way too much of an awesome person to be involved in this. And Rachel Weisz probably, was just busy sleeping with James Bond. Because, she gets to do that. Oh, God. I don't think I have anything left to say on this. So, I'm done. And Rob Cohen, thank you for ruining what could have been a great franchise. Thank you.